You're listening to the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network, home of the #1 sports talk show on the planet, The Doug Stewart Show.
This is a revolution in radio, the realest, trillest sports talk show in America, The Doug Stewart Show.
Broadcasting live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Time, exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
This is sports talk for the people.
Follow Stewart Media and Entertainment right now on Facebook to stay connected and locked in for upcoming events like the Couples and Cocktail Series, viewing parties, and much, much more. Up next, get ready to ride raw with the Doug Stewart Show.
This is sports talk with hot sauce, Texas Pete hot sauce, the Doug Stewart Show.
Exclusively on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network.
Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STEW to play for free. That's STEW for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STEW, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STEW. This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the #1 thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5ElectronicsInc.com. That's System5ElectronicsInc.com.
You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out for beer during commercials because the revolution will not be televised.
Do you want that real sports talk? Unfiltered, unsanitized? Well, you have found it. This is a revolution in radio. The realest, trillest sports talk show in America. The Doug Stewart Show. This is sports talk for the people. Yes! Yay! What's happening? It's your boy Doug Stewart. Thank you so much for joining me on this Man Talk Monday. I really, really do appreciate it. You know what we got to do? We got to bring it back. We got to bring it back. Yes, sir. Ow! That's right. This is the Doug Stewart Show, March 30th, 2015. Man Talk Monday. And, man, we're going to get into a lot of stuff, man. So, the people that are already in the chat room, man, thank y'all for remembering the show starts today for the first time, forevermore, until we tell you anything different. At 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We're going to go from 10 a.m. Eastern Time all the way to 12 noon Eastern Time right here on the Doug Stewart Show, and that's Eastern Time. Once again on the Doug Stewart Show. So thank you so much for joining your boy. How was your weekend, man? How was it? Yeah. Yeah, so my daughter had a prom this weekend. She had her senior prom this weekend. And all things considered, it turned out pretty good. My mom actually came up from South Carolina to kind of see her off. I guess that's some type of mom tradition. My brother actually came over to our house as well and kind of saw her off. And me and my brother put the fear of God in the dude that took her out to this prom. We put the fear of God in this dude. The last thing I said to dude, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. So we're taking pictures and everything in front of the house. We're taking pictures and everything in front of the house. And then, so that's done. And my daughter and this kid go get in the car. He's driving. First of all, I had a real problem with that. And so they go get in the car, and I go over to the side of the car, to his door, and I said, down the window, man. I said, down the window. And the first, hour we had been talking real. It was cordial. It was cordial. So I walk over to his door, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I said, down the window. I says, with a smile on my face, make sure I don't have to kill you tonight, man. Make sure I don't have to kill you tonight. He was like, huh? I was like, nothing. What? What'd you say? Huh? He was like, what'd you just say? I said, nothing. And I just smiled. I just walked away, and I waved bye. I just waved goodbye. Y'all have a good time. Yeah. So she made it back all right. Actually came home at a decent time. So I was very pleased about that, man. You got any prom stories for your kids, your daughter? If you got a daughter, any prom stories for you or anything like that as well? But she made it back, and she's okay. She's okay, man. I really, really struggled with this thing for the last 7-8 days, man. The last week, I really, really was, it's my daughter, man. It's my daughter. And I love her to death, man. And so, I just know how I was back then, man. So it's just a tough thing for a dad. It's just a tough thing for a dad. All right, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. The easy way, though, to be down with the Doug Stewart Show is to jump in the chat room, man, and be totally interactive. Shouts out to everybody already in the chat room. Big Smooth, Rel Scott, Stagger Lee, Big Smooth, Burn from Jersey, Jungle Brother, That Ninja. Thank you for being totally interactive with the Doug Stewart Show. All right, now if you're a new listener, and we've been doing a lot of advertising on different mediums. If you're a new listener, man, trust me. If you listened to the Two Live Stews back in the day, saw us on First Take, know how we did it, and basically you're getting the same damn thing, except for it's just one stew. But remember, one stew is better than no stew. So we have a good time around here. It's dude talk, really. It's dude talk with a big emphasis on sports. And whatever you're talking about, that's what we do Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Have a good time. We laugh. We do top fives, have great interviews, great guests, and just do the damn thing. All right, once again, Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. Eastern Time to 12 p.m. Eastern Time right here on the Doug Stewart Show. So obviously we're going to talk about the NCAA Tournament. This past weekend we got a Final Four. That's right. A once legendary program reaches back to one of their legends. In the NFL, a squeaky wheel gets the oil. What else are we going to get into? And this guy just needs to go sit his ass down somewhere. So we're going to talk about all that. But obviously, man, let me just go ahead and give up the first ballers of the weekend, man, from the weekend. All of the teams that made it to a Final Four. I mean, just fantastic basketball. We're going to talk about particular guys as well. But Michigan State advances, Duke advances, Wisconsin and Kentucky. So you got Wisconsin taking on Kentucky, Michigan State taking on Duke. Incredible weekend of basketball. Incredible. And let me start it off. The first ball of the weekend goes to Kentucky, but in particular to Karl Towns, man. Unbelievable game for this kid, man. You talk about made some money. Karl Towns, Karl Anthony. He's got one of those lawyer names. Karl Anthony Towns, man. When they needed him to ball, He balled out of control against Notre Dame, 25.17 in the second half. So he gets a Baller Award and unstoppable. And, there's kind of been some talk, I guess in the last couple of weeks, since the tournament has started, about who's the guy you would rather have or who's going to be the first pick in the draft. Is it going to be Karl Anthony Towns from Kentucky, or is it going to be Jahlil Okafor? And for the most part, most people have said this year that it's going to be Jahlil Okafor. I don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to tell you what. No matter what happens in the rest of this tournament, Karl Anthony Towns made him some money this past weekend. He made some real money. What you saw was true old school low post moves from a big man in the last quarter of that game against Notre Dame. And they didn't miss a shot. They didn't miss a damn shot in the last 11 minutes of the game. And Karl Anthony Towns, he got the ball in the block. Whenever he got the ball in the block, he was unstoppable. He was unfreaking-stoppable. Now, the game is kind of played different in this day and time. There's a lot more guard play. There's a lot less big guys like there were 20, 30 years ago. There's just not. And so there's a lot of wing forwards, wing players in the game right now. But this guy, man, I see what he did and what he's done throughout his career, his short career in Kentucky, translating easily to the NBA. You can't teach that. I guess you can teach it, but a lot of that stuff is God-given. What he did this past weekend, man, and when they had to have baskets, they just fed him. Feed me Seymour. Yes, and this guy made some big-time money this weekend, man, so congratulations to Kentucky. Congratulations to all the teams that made it to the Final Four. Give me your ballers and your busters. Some people call them game balls and goats. What we call them on the Doug Stewart Show are ballers and busters. So give me your ballers and your busters from this past weekend. And also, man, little Dougie Daily topic. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Your Dougie Daily topic today is, what's the most death-defying thing that you've ever done in your life? And I'm going to tell you my thoughts on this when we get back from the break. But Tom Brady jumped off a damn cliff. And if you saw the pictures and his view and what he did, it's unbelievable, man. I don't get it. What's the most death-defying thing that you've ever done in your life? Kind of a conversation about Tom Brady jumping off a damn cliff. I mean, why? Why? Huh? Why would you jump off a cliff? It doesn't make any sense. All right, so I'm going to read a lot of your chat today, man. Get your ballers and your busters. I'll take your calls as well, 404-382-0338. It's the realest, trillest sports talk show in America. It's the Doug Stewart Show. System 5 Electronics is proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's just a few reasons to choose System 5. Not only is their monitoring station located here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own your security alarm system once it's installed. Not only have they been around for almost 25 years, but their customer service is excellent. And you get direct access to the owner, Mr. Maceo Brown, to resolve any issues with your alarm system. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736. And make sure and tell them the Doug Stewart Show sent you. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com, America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's Stu for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code Stu, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code Stu. This is your folk, Doug Stewart. Want to protect you and your family from life's unexpected mishaps? Then join 7. Join 7 is a prepaid legal company under the umbrella of the Protection Group. Join 7 is the only group benefit or motor club in the U.S. that offers auto reimbursement coverage, key replacement coverage, roadside assistance, gives you a current Medi-file, prescription savings, and fully encompassed prepaid legal benefits that include identity theft. They got you back. The average combined cost to purchase these benefits individually is over $850 a year. Join today and take advantage of all 7 for $17 a month. They've been around for over 20 years, so check them out by clicking on the banner link on my page, thedougstewartshow.com, or the app. Just go ahead and join 7. This is the Doug Stewart Show, and it is a Man Talk Monday. Thank you for joining your boy. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Talking Ballas and Bustas from this past weekend. I'll give you your celebrity birthdays coming up in about 15 minutes, so stay tuned for that. But once again, the number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. This segment is brought to you by System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners in the Atlanta area the most affordable home security monitoring systems featuring smart solutions for your busy lifestyle for as little as $16.50 per month. That's right. They've been in business for over 25 years. My man, Maceo Brown, the owner of the company, man, will take care of you if you've ever got a problem. Give them a call if you've ever got a problem and ask for Maceo Brown. He's the owner of the company. So just a fantastic company. Got all the latest and newest and greatest gadgets. So check them out online at System 5, the number 5, System5electronicsinc.com. Once again, that's System5electronicsinc.com. I gave a Ball Award in the first segment to Karl Anthony Towns, man. Ball Award in general goes to Kentucky. You talk about a team that was, I mean, they were done. I mean, Kentucky was D-O-N-E, dead on arrival. They were done, and somehow they found a way to win this game. And I contend if they didn't win this past weekend or didn't lose this past weekend against Notre Dame, they aren't going to lose. They just aren't going to lose, man. They were done and found a way to scrap, fight, and come back in that game. And Kyler Perry, man, to his credit, he kept those guys cool. They didn't panic, and they got it done at the very end, man, as they beat Notre Dame 68-66. How do you feel if you're Tom Brady and Notre Dame, who played the game of their life, everything? The last shot that the Grant kid took, I think it's Horace's son, Horace or Harvey. No, I think it's Horace's son. The Grant kid took from the corner. I thought it was going to go in because it almost seemed like poetic justice for Notre Dame to win this game. Like, they're supposed to win this game, and I know right now they are just so hurt. And letting that one slip away from them because, I mean, in all reality, they should have won the damn game. They should have won the game, but this is what happens a lot of times with these teams destined for greatness. There's a lot of times this year that Kentucky kind of fell short. They really should have lost the Georgia game. There could be an argument made that they should have lost the Ole Miss game early this year as well. So they've had a lot of little close calls, but have found a way to come back and do it and handle their business. They get a Ball Award, the Kentucky Wildcats. Wow. 38-0. 38-0. You know another guy, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, another guy that I'm going to give a Ball Award to, man, is this Sam Decker kid from Wisconsin, man. 27 points, 5 boards, 1 assist in Wisconsin's win against Arizona. He made some money this weekend, too. Yes. Sam Decker made some money this weekend as well. And you know how we do it, man. And I hate to always do this, but in this industry, for some reason, we always compare a white athlete to another white athlete. I don't know why. It just seems very convenient or nothing. But you know what this Sam Decker kid kind of reminds me of? He kind of reminds me of Keith Van Horn. You remember Keith Van Horn played for Utah? Solid player in the NBA for many, many years. But he kind of reminds me of that. He could go to the basket. He can shoot. Great size. He made some money this weekend. And there's always guys in the tournament that have these big, these big games during the playoffs or during the tournament, and they make their money. And this Sam Decker kid, man, he has been fantastic throughout the tournament. Kind of reminds you a little bit of as far as shooting up to the top of the boards and relevance as far as guys coming out of college basketball this year. Many guys have done it before. But you remember Dwayne Wade in the tournament his senior year or his last year at Marquette? Just a guy that the world had a chance to see. He was on display, and he did what he was supposed to do. And this Decker kid, man, fantastic. Comiskey, another great game this past weekend as well, as they do get the win over Arizona. And then you got to give a ball award to the Duke Blue Devils. Wow. 66-52 over Gonzaga. Tyus Jones, 15 points, 3 boards, 6 assists. And they get it done, man. They come from behind as well in a game that Gonzaga really controlled throughout the late portions of that game. But they do what they're supposed to. There's another guy that had a fantastic game as well, the Justice Winslow kid. Fantastic game by him, 16 points as well. He made some big, big baskets at the end of this game. You're talking about another freshman, a guy who, once again, Coach K is loaded, and these programs, these top-tier programs in college basketball are just loaded year in and year out. So in the Final Four, you got 3 of the biggest name programs, and also talking about Tom Izzo's Michigan State Spartans, who advanced to the Final Four as well. So you got three of the biggest name programs and 3 of the biggest coaches in college basketball. That's not a coincidence. It's just not a coincidence. You got Calipari, and you got Coach K, and then Tom Izzo. Fantastic job by those teams. So they get ballers for the weekend. All right, who are your ballers and your busters? AKA your game balls and your goats. Doesn't have to just be college basketball. It can be anything, any athlete, any entertainer from this past weekend doing something dumb or doing something great. So give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. All right, doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Tree, yes, ma'am?
Oh, I was just saying good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Okay, so for the listeners out there that are just tuning into the Doug Stewart Show for the first time, Tree is our producer. She's the producer for the show. She actually makes the damn show happen. So fill us in. What happened this past weekend?
Well, it was my anniversary.
Yeah, we talked about that on Friday. Well, we kind of want to update on that, Tree.
It was a good weekend.
So everything was good?
I feel wonderful. Mm-hmm.
You feel wonderful, okay.
Yeah.
Well, for new listeners, Tree talked about on Friday, it was her anniversary to her cool husband, Charles, and that Charles was going to have to, in effect, break off something proper. I mean, they celebrate anniversaries like that in the Taylor household.
We try to celebrate every day like that.
Yeah, okay.
I tried it like your daughter tried it with the 6 a.m. coming home time.
Okay, all right, see, you just so unnecessary. That wasn't necessary.
We want to know what happened.
She came home around 2:30. I mean, everything was fine.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
You look better today.
Yeah, I'm fine. I was really stressed out last week about this thing. I just got to be honest with you. I was totally stressed out about this thing. I was. And everything seemed to be okay. Like, no reason for me to go and hunt this kid down.
Oh, wow.
I'm okay. Yeah. All right, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at Doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let me read a couple of chat messages. Your Ballas and your Bustas from this past weekend. Gerald, why is everybody mad at Aaron Rodgers for pulling for Wisconsin? Niner for life. Kentucky or Calipari has no offense for those big men. There's no way this past weekend should have been his best scoring game. Baller, Notre Dame, even though I'm a Kentucky fan. Kiss my go to hell. Almost forgot the new time, Doug. Tree Stewies, what up, though? Juan Cruz, if it wasn't for a reminder of the show app, I would have forgot. Exactly. Shouts out to the reminder for the show app. Yeah, so follow the show on Spreaker.com. All right, if you're listening to the show on my app, The Doug Stewart Show, also go to The Doug Stewart Show on Spreaker. That's SPREAKER.com, and just search The Doug Stewart Show once you get on there. And there's a little thing that you can hit follow and then go into your settings. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's really not. Go into your settings and set it up so whenever the show goes live, whenever the Doug Stewart Show goes live, you'll get a little alert, and it won't be a problem at all. Casey, the flu had me down last week, but like Tree, after celebrating her anniversary, I feel reborn, Stallion. Yeah. Matt, chatting from the desktop, job lifted the band. Yes, all right, good for you, Matt. Sluggo, Towns balled out this weekend. He was truly the only option, and he scored at will. Yeah, he scored at will. And once again, I see what Karl Anthony Towns, what he did this past weekend in the championship or in the game against Notre Dame. I see that translating to the NBA. I do. A lot of guys, they're great in college, but when they get to the NBA, they don't really have a go-to move. They can't get to the basket. They can't create their own shot. The fact that they don't have quick feet really comes into play in the NBA. No, what Karl Anthony Towns did in particular in that last quarter in the win against Notre Dame translate to the NBA. I don't know. Who would you take? Would you take Jahlil Okafor or would you take Karl Anthony Towns? I think I probably still would take Jahlil Okafor because I think his upside might be a little bit more. I think that he can actually have a game kind of reminiscent of Anthony Davis, where I think he'll be able to work on and hone his jump shot even a little bit better. He'll be a better guy from the perimeter, I think, long term than Karl Anthony Towns. But here's the thing about it. Just like I've always said, and we talked about this last week, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, if you can score that little half hook anytime you want, why not just continue to do that? Yes. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. That little half hook he got is dangerous. Big body, kind of like DeMarcus Cousins, like Boogie Cousins, just well suited to play in the NBA. Yes, ball award to him. Paulo Negro, baller award to Atlanta for clinching the East. Yes, sir. Ball award to the Atlanta Hawks for clinching the East, resting players and whatnot now. Joshua, Atlanta Hawks baller. Gerald, Justice Winslow is a baller. Yeah, he's a baller. Bush, Wisconsin going to beat Kentucky. No, that's not going to happen. I'll tell you why. I'll give you my thoughts on why that won't happen when we get back from the break. And also, I'll read more of your chat. We'll talk some birthdays. This is the realest, trillest, most fun show in America, The Doug Stewart Show. Don't go away. Keep it locked. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU.
The Doug Stewart Show.
the place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show. If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. If you're not stewing, what the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. Who would you take? I just thought about that question, man. I mean, is it an open shut case you take Jahlil Okafor? I mean, his skill set is fantastic. You can tell he's a great athlete, but I mean, Karl Anthony Towns, man. I mean, golly, you don't see many guys like that in the paint anymore, man, with a great low post game, and he just looked fantastic this past weekend. This is the Doug Stewart Show. The number is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Hey, have you created your DraftKings account yet? If you haven't done it, man, why haven't you? You should. Go to DraftKings.com, create you an account, and in the section where you put in your promotional code, where you have the ability to do that, put in the promotional code STEW. That's STEW. And when you do that, whatever you put in your DraftKings account, up to $600, me and DraftKings, that's right, I said me. Me, Doug Stewart, and DraftKings are going to match it. Yes. Yes, sir. So if you put in $600, you'll be wagering with $1,200. You can't beat that with a stick. You cannot beat that with a stick. So once again, that's DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com. All right, so talking about everything from this past weekend, getting your Ballas and your Buster Ball Award once again to Michigan State as they handle Louisville in overtime. Tom Izzo does it again. I think that's the 12th. It's either the 12th or the 13th time. I think I saw a stat where as a lower seed, Michigan State wins in the tournament under Tom Izzo, man. So a fantastic job. And coaching, I think in college basketball in particular, coaching has a bigger effect on the output of the game than maybe any other sport. I really do believe that, man, because coaches can win or lose games. Michigan State, if you follow them a little bit this year, you know that they're really playing above the way that they played throughout the regular season this year. And I think Tom Izzo has elevated that. And I really love also as well in college basketball how, you know, in some sports, okay, you really don't have the ability to get better. Like for instance, in the NFL, if you struggle early and you're out of it too much, and you don't make the playoffs, then you ass out. You ass out. But in college basketball, man, you can struggle early, work on things, try to fix your rotation, you know, who you're going to bring in off the bench. There's a lot of coaching decisions you can make as a college basketball coach to get better over time. And I think a perfect example of it, man, is Michigan State and Tom Izzo. Just fantastic job, man. They get to win over Louisville 76-70. So Ball Award goes to them as well and to head coach Tom Izzo. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I said I was going to talk about birthdays. Happy birthday to Richard Sherman, 27 years old today. Yeah. Is Richard Sherman the best cornerback in the NFL? I would say yeah. And it seems like there's always this discussion between Richard Sherman and Darrelle Revis, and maybe the Peterson kid from Arizona sometimes. But for the most part, it's Richard Sherman and it's Darrelle Revis, and it's not even close as far as stats and what they've done as far as guys in the NFL making big plays, game-changing plays. Now, a lot of people argue it's because teams don't throw at Darrelle Revis. I don't know about that, man. I mean, you can't really quantify that. I mean, I'm sure teams don't go at Richard Sherman, and he makes plays. He makes plays a lot of times where the ball isn't even around him, or it's a secondary receiver, or it's not the guy that he's specifically supposed to be covering. So I would take Richard Sherman if I had my chance to take one of those guys. I think Richard Sherman is the best cornerback in the NFL. So he's 27 years old today. Happy birthday to him. And you know who else's birthday is today? Tracy Chapman, 51 years old. You know who she is, right? I want a fast car. That chick, folk singer. Kind of weird if you ask me. So she's 51 years old today as well. So happy birthday to Tracy Chapman. And you know who else's birthday it is today? MC Hammer. Yes, sir. Hammer is 53 years old today. Wow. And Hammer was supposed to be a pretty good baseball player, speaking of sports. Big fan of the Oakland A's. I think the story is that he actually worked for the Oakland A's as a kid, as like a ball boy or something like that. And Hammer is 53 years old. Try to explain to somebody under the age of 30, if you're an older cat like me and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, try to explain to them the MC Hammer phenomenon. You couldn't even do it justice. You couldn't even do it justice how big MC Hammer was. And if you're under the age of 30, under the age maybe of, I'm going to guess somewhere around 30, words can't even put into play about how big MC Hammer was when he first hit the scene. Okay, you know his story. He's a rapper, kind of, sort of, more of an entertainer, could dance his ass off, had a big-ass entourage, like 50, 60 people. Hammer was that dude. Couldn't rap a lick. Lyrics were booty. But I'm a guy, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm different than a lot of people, okay? I am very different than a lot of people. I respect the hustle, okay? I respect the hustle. I respect cats that go out there and make a way from nowhere, that makes something out of nothing. And MC Hammer did that. You're talking about a guy from the West Coast, from a city not really known, for great rappers or whatever, like your New Yorks or your LAs or your Atlantas, and from Oakland. I mean, just blew up. Not really a rapper, once again, but a great entertainer, and word on the street is he lost it all. And really, that's not funny. You shouldn't hit the rim shot sound effect with that, producers. But, yeah, this guy, man, was so big. You're talking 1989, and I remember the year because it wasn't Too Legit. Too Legit wasn't the first song, the first hit that he had. Oh, it was, I think it was titled Pump It. You remember? Pump it, ooh. Can you feel? That was a classic in 89. When they played that in the party. All right, 89 is right at my wheelhouse. 88, 89, that's right at my wheelhouse because that was my freshman year in college in 1988. So I remember the song being like the biggest thing since sliced bread. Like we'd walk into a party and they'd play that and the beat was so slamming. And, Hammer, you saw the video and Hammer was dancing his ass off. MC Hammer, 53 years old today. Happy birthday to him. I think he's like, Tree, jump on for a second here. Isn't Hammer like an ordained minister now as well?
Yeah, he and his wife had a church or have a church. He's got a good comeback story.
But he ain't coming back like he did. Like he lost, I think they said over $100 million.
I give him that for being transparent.
Yeah.
But he was just, I am a believer of generosity, but my God.
What do you mean?
You can't employ everybody.
Yeah, you can't have an entourage. And once again, for people under the age of like 25, Google Hammer, like entourage, and look at he'd have like 100 people on stage with him. You don't need all them damn people dancing. All of them got a check. Can you imagine the travel, the itinerary? Just the logistics of traveling worldwide with 100 people. That's crazy, man.
They didn't have GoFundMes back then.
Exactly. So were you a Hammer fan?
I wouldn't say so.
You weren't?
I did like, I liked, those girl, Angie B.
Yeah,
They sang Juicy.
Well, you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, 357.
Yeah, thank you.
Oaktown 357.
I like that.
Yeah, they were hot.
Yeah. No, I like their vocal ability. Bye, Douglas.
You know what? They were hot, but if you go back and look at them now, they aren't so hot. They aren't so hot. Kind of rugged and roughish.
Well, but you could see that when they were. You could see that they weren't the softest looking girls, but they had the vocals. So I enjoyed that presentation.
Yeah. Then they always wore the bodysuits.
Biker shorts, baby. Biker shorts.
The biker shorts, the bodysuits back during that era when that was cool. It was the greatest thing ever. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From JB Jennings, Doug, I bet one of my boys at Decker would go first round. He seems to think that he won't go until the second. But to me, Decker can put the ball on the floor, is pretty athletic, and is a sharp shooter. He reminds me more of Gordon Hayward for the Jazz. Once again, why do we always compare white guys? But I see that comparison as well. And Gordon Hayward's doing fantastic in the NBA right now. Maybe fantastic is a little bit strong, but he just got a big new deal. So he's doing very good in the NBA. Yeah, Gordon Hayward, Keith Van Horn, he can put the ball on the floor. Very decent athleticism. He'll dunk on your ass. We've seen that a couple of times in the tournament this year as well. So, yeah, I like that Decker kid, man. I really like that Decker kid. From Miss Mocha Bella in the chat room. Ball Award to Kentucky. Michigan State, Wisconsin, and Duke. Bust Award to Tom Brady for jumping off a cliff on his vacation. He could have hurt himself if he landed in the water wrong. Yeah, very dangerous. Very dangerous. What's the craziest thing that you've ever done in your life? What's the most death-defying thing that you've ever done in your life? Give me a call at 404-382-0338, or you can post it in the chat room on Spreaker.com. I'll tell you what the craziest thing I've done in my life when we get back from the break. Yeah, and we'll also talk about a once legendary program reaching out to one of their legends. Don't go away, The Doug Stewart Show. First of all, thank you for listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on The Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Once again, that's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! The Doug Stewart Show. The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show. If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the metro Atlanta area all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this, you own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem, Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5electronicsinc.com. That's System5electronicsinc.com. Man Talk Monday. This is the Doug Stewart Show. And appreciate you joining your boy. If you're new to the show, this might be your first time listening to the Doug Stewart Show, pass the word. Tell at least one person. I really would appreciate it. And don't forget, every day, Monday through Friday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. That's the new times. Yeah. Sports Talk with Hot Sauce, Texas Pete Hot Sauce. Talking NCAA Tournament. I'm reading a lot of your chat. Having a lot of fun. Chris Mullen, man, has been offered the job to become the next head coach of St. John's. Many sources are telling ESPN. Give credit to ESPN on this story. And so he's trying to decide right now. Right now he's in a position where he's trying to decide whether he wants to leave as being, somewhat of a broadcaster. I don't know if he calls games. Yeah, he does color work as well. And then, he's in studio sometimes as well. Real cushy type job if you're a legendary player. Chris Mullen, obviously a fantastic player in the NBA, Basketball Hall of Fame. Probably the biggest player to ever come out of St. John's, well, at least in the last 40 years, under head coach, who was Louis Carnesecca, legendary coach. So you got Chris Mullen, you got Mark Jackson. Who else you got? You got Ron Artest. Who else you got? Walter Berry. But Chris Mullen's in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame. Probably the biggest, player to come out of St. John's. And Chris Mullen, if you didn't see him, was a fantastic shooter, fantastic player, great player, New York City kid, when that meant a lot. And so he's got a decision to make right now. I don't know if I would do it, man. I don't know if I would do it because St. John's ain't like St. John's used to be 25 years ago, where they used to get a lot of the top kids from New York City, just like I just mentioned, Chris Mullen and Ron Artest and Mark Jackson and those guys. It seems like they don't get those guys anymore, and I don't know why. It seems like those type of programs aren't in the spotlight as much as they used to be. I've heard mentioned a couple times today on TV, them in comparison and in contrast to DePaul as well, out of Chicago. Yeah, they really, they aren't what they used to be. Not that I guess you would technically call them like a mid-major because they don't really have a football program of note. A Butler, a Villanova, those teams like that, even though Villanova is not a mid-major, but those teams like that, a Marquette, those type of teams, man, they're still flourishing. But St. John's, for some reason, man, just has not been a good team year in and year out like they used to be, seemingly. It seemed like when I was younger, you're talking, when I'm in my teens or whatever, it seems like Louis Carnesecca and the St. John's Redmen, which they aren't the Redmen anymore. What are they called now? The St. John's something. But that St. John's team, man, was always relevant. Playing in the Big East as well. They were always relevant, but not so much right now. So do you want to give up the lifestyle that you have, which, let's be honest, for a former NBA player, Hall of Fame player, the guy that watches basketball, even, if he weren't getting paid to do it, and just talk about it, that's a real cushy job. You take that in comparison, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, to running after little 17, 18-year-old snotty kids. Snotty-nosed kids. I mean, it's tough. And then, if you don't win over a period of time, he'll probably get extra time to succeed. But if you don't win after a period of time, and even worse, if you suck and your team suck, then that kind of, to a small degree damages your legacy and your name brand. Does he want to do that? I mean, does he really even want to do that? I actually, when I moved to Atlanta, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show for people that don't know, that was the thing that I wanted to do when I got to Atlanta, and this is different. You're talking recruiting for the NFL and for an agency, and him recruiting high school kids to come to college. But recruiting young kids, man, is just tough because they always got their damn hands out like cups. They always want something and want you to kiss their ass, and recruiting is just tough. And, Mullins haven't had to have done that, since his NBA career has been done. That's just tough, man. You want to tread lightly. You want to tread real lightly if you're Chris Mullins. Do you even want to do it? Now, money is a factor, and loyalty to his program. Is he a guy that wants to come in, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, and resurrect the program? I think that's a big thing as well. And I can understand from that standpoint wanting to go and help out your school and get back on the college basketball scene as far as relevance. That would be great if he could do that at St. John's. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that. But, he's been offered the job at St. John's University. And they always talk about this New York talent, New York City playgrounds, and, the best talent in the country. Not so much. Not so much these days, seemingly. You just don't hear about that type of thing that much these days. 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. From Matt, Atlanta Hawks equals Ballas for locking down the number one spot. Maceo Brown, okay, Maceo Browns, the great Maceo Browns hitting us in the chat room as well. From Maceo Brown, Ball Award goes to the kid that took Doug's daughter to the prom. What you trying to say, man? What are you trying to say?
Calm down.
What's this guy trying to say? What's Maceo Brown trying to say? And this isn't the real Maceo Brown, really. Let me go ahead and say it. Maceo Brown would not say anything so antagonizing to his friend Doug Stewart.
Douglas.
This is a bootleg Maceo Brown on this chat.
Douglas, he was saying that it was a good choice for.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me read it again. Ball Award goes to the kid that took Doug's daughter to the prom. Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
Lord.
I'm sensitive. I'm real sensitive. I'm on the edge about this whole thing, man. From that ninja. 2:30, Doug? Really? Let me tell you the story behind letting her come home at 2:30. She's usually got a 12 p.m. Curfew. There was just no way around, letting her come home later. And I actually let my wife and my mother come to a time because no matter what I said, it wouldn't have been right. I would have been the bad guy. And I figure they're mothers and they're women and, they got a better feel of the whole situation. So, my wife was like, what time should she be home? And I told her, and talking about my daughter going to the prom this weekend if you're just joining me, I was like, y'all go ahead and y'all decide. Talking about her and my mother. And, the prom didn't end until 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. So after that, I think they went to what kids do after a prom. They go to Waffle House or something like that. And she was home at 2:30. And I was sitting up. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. I'm sitting up at 2:30, on the couch, just waiting patiently. And everything was fine. She came home, and it was good, man. That ninja, or Roderick Pinson, Last week, one of the 3 laws in Monk's Corner wrote me a ticket, busted to Monk's Corner police. You are riding through my hometown of Monk's Corner, South Carolina, speeding, sir? Are you crazy? You lucky your ass you live to tell about it. From J.B. Jennings, hate to do it. Bust award to Mike Bray for not double-teaming Towns. That essentially cost them the game. Yeah, I mean, but hindsight is 20/20, or however that saying goes, man. They felt like they were going to let them guys, go one-on-one down in the paint and just stop everybody else, and it didn't work. It didn't work. Now, it had worked in the prior games previously to this one. It actually worked as well. They did the same type of thing in the ACC tournament as well, where they kind of let the big guys just do what they wanted to, and then they just guarded everybody on the perimeter. Didn't work this time, man. I mean, you got to give a ball award. Let me do that. I don't think I've done that. Ball award to Notre Dame, man. Clearly outmatched in size, and that's the reason why I still like Kentucky. First of all, two reasons why I think Kentucky's going to beat Wisconsin. Number one, if they didn't lose this past weekend, they just aren't going to lose. And that was probably the best time to catch them because of the emotional win that they had the week before, or the last game where they just totally destroyed West Virginia. They were on an emotional high, and psychologically, I always talk about the psychology of sports. Psychologically, in their minds, they're unbeatable. They just beat a damn team, that made it to the Sweet 16 by 40. So psychologically, they probably were on a high that was probably too damn high, and so they kind of probably let their guard down. You understand the psychology of sports? No. They found a way to win this game when really they shouldn't have. The next game, they aren't going to let that happen. Like, I really expect them to beat Wisconsin just athletically, too much size. Now, Wisconsin has great size, great players as well, but I just think that it's a block party when you play up against Kentucky. And with this team, with all these 7-footers, man. So I think that, Cinderella, comes home for Wisconsin and they lose to Kentucky. As a matter of fact, I like Kentucky to win by double digits. I do. Because, once again, the psychology of sports. I like Kentucky to really bear down, really come out, hard, and make sure that they don't get behind like they did this past game against Notre Dame and just handle their business against Wisconsin. Wisconsin's a great team, but they ain't Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky's one of the all-timers. I talked about it last week on the Doug Stewart Show, that I talked about the top 5 college basketball teams that I've seen in the last 40-plus years, and I got this Kentucky team at number 5. And I just think it's destiny. They aren't going to lose. I'd be shocked as hell if this Kentucky team loses. What? Come on, man. That's manifest destiny. For them to win the way that they did this past weekend and stay undefeated by 2 points in a game they should have lost is manifest destiny. That's what it is. Or just destiny. All right, when we get back from the break, man, hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show, man, and we'll continue taking your Ballas and your Bustas. Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. This your boy Doug Stewart for my folks at System 5 Electronics. They're proud to offer my listeners here in the Metro Atlanta area, all the way down to Macon, Georgia, the most affordable home security monitoring systems, featuring smart solutions for that busy lifestyle you lead for as low as $16.50 per month. Here's some of the reasons why you should choose System 5.
Hi, I'm Maceo Brown, President and CEO of System 5 Electronics. We take pride in making sure that security is the number one thing that we do. And thanks to you, the customer that has supported us, we have grown this company in Southwest Atlanta, where we're creating jobs and opportunities.
Not only is their monitoring station here in Atlanta, but they also install the most advanced, up-to-date alarm systems where you can access cameras, lights, door locks, thermostats, and other devices remotely with your smartphone. 24/7 technical support, plus the lowest service call fees in the business. And check this. You own the security alarm system once it's installed. And you get direct access to the owner if you ever got a problem. Mr. Maceo Brown. Click on the banner on the Doug Stewart Show website or app for more details, or give them a call at 404-756-0736. Again, that's 404-756-0736, or online at System5electronicsinc.com. That's System5electronicsinc.com.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
And we getting a lot of chat because Tree made a comment and used the term have sex raw. And just like you cavemen dudes that listen to this show, y'all eating that up.
If you're going to say it right. It's ride raw.
Ooh. Okay, see that, Tree? You can't do that. William Mack, I'm torn on whether or not to nominate Dwight Howard for garnishing his baby mama's bank account for violating a gag order. She was wrong for mentioning his name on that bootleg show, but come on, man. That's the mother of your child? Yeah, and I read this story, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. And it does seem very petty. Dwight's got $1 gazillion, and this chick clearly is just trying to keep her name relevant so that she can continue to get roles on reality shows.
I mean, we talked about this before, and you all jumped on the woman when she ain't trying to work. She's trying to work. Okay.
But she broke the rule. She broke the agreement, Tree. She can get a job. I mean, I guess it'd be less. It'd be harder for her to get a job if she doesn't intermingle Dwight Howard conversation into the talk.
What kind of job can she get that's going to accommodate the lifestyle that he created for her?
Oh, here you go.
Hey, welcome to Chick-fil-A.
What Chick-fil-A it is then? She not attached to dude anymore.
She is forever attached to dude because she rode raw.
Okay, now you really just playing with the people in the chat room and the listeners' emotions. Okay, you know they just pervs like that and they like to hear you talk dirty. You didn't have to go there again 3 times a day on the show.
Yes, you once, twice, 3 times a lady.
Sports talk, straight, no chaser.
What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam. Hour number 2 of the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. Talking, obviously, a lot of college basketball, man. That's the big story from this past weekend. We got our Final Four, man. Michigan State taking on Duke. Wisconsin taking on Kentucky. Who do you like and why? I just don't see anybody beat Kentucky, man. I just don't see it. And you know what? I'm actually kind of rooting for them now because I like to see history. And if you listen to me over the years, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, if you listen to me over the years, I'm not a fan of Calipari. I think they're doing something under the table. I think they're cheating. Can't prove it, but chances are whatever he's done at Kentucky over the last couple of years and this year probably is going to be vacated based on his history. So I'm not really a fan. And I guess it really doesn't matter if he's cheating or not. It shouldn't matter to me. I don't care. I just think that he's slick. I just think that he's slick as a can of oil. Okay? But I actually found myself rooting for Kentucky the other night, man, to beat Notre Dame. First of all, I'm not a fan of Notre Dame. But the bigger thing is I guess I kind of want to see history. And I want to see these guys finish the drill and go undefeated and go 40-0. And then also at the same time, I also like the idea of college athletes getting their money. So it's crazy. It's a crazy love-hate relationship with Calipari that I have. And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Because on one hand, I don't like the guy, I guess personally. I think that they're cheating some kind of way, the World Wide West or whatever. And then also on the other side of that, though, I root for these kids to get their money. You know, I'm a fan of paying college athletes. I'm a fan of guys going to the NBA or to the NFL and getting paid. I just believe in that, okay? So it's strange. On one hand, I'm not really a fan of Calipari, and I think he's doing something shady under the table. And on the other hand, I root for these kids because these kids are going to make a lot of money soon. I wish they were making it right now in college basketball. So I like the whole idea of bringing in all of these superstar McDonald All-American players, putting them on one team, cultivating them throughout the year, and by the time they get to the tournament, they're ready to roll. They win a championship for a common cause. They all come together. They put their egos, to the side, and they win. Because a lot of people don't like this narrative where college kids come in and they're really exploiting the system and they're coming together. You know good and well they only, plan to be there for a year. A lot of people don't like that. I absolutely love it. Yes. Get your money. And once again, Calipari, he doesn't have a problem with that, obviously. That's pretty much his game plan, to get the best players he can for a year. Tell them that he won't have a problem with them leaving to go to the NBA if they're ready, and winning championships, So I don't have a problem with that at all, man. So I'm actually rooting for Kentucky. A lot of people rooting against Kentucky. I was actually at a sports bar the other night. Shouts out to the state club, like the alumni booster club for my university, South Carolina State University. So we had a little like fundraiser type thing at the sports bar. So the game was on, and a lot of people were rooting against Kentucky. A lot of people were, whenever they made big shots at the end of the game, people were booing. People wanted to see Notre Dame win. And the Notre Dame thing might have been like an outlier because Notre Dame is against Kentucky. It's kind of like David and Goliath. So that kind of played into it as well. But a lot of people, man, don't want to see Kentucky win, just like a lot of people don't want to see Duke win. I want to see Duke and Kentucky, yes, and I want to see Kentucky win. Definitely not a fan of Duke. Definitely not a fan of Duke, man. But I think that's what it's going to be. Let's be honest. Michigan State has played above and beyond expectations. There's no shame in them losing to Duke in the Final Four. So I fully expect Duke to win that game. And then you got Duke taking on Kentucky, and two of the biggest names in college basketball as far as coaches of all time. Maybe the biggest coaching name in college basketball of all time, and Coach Krzyzewski. And then you got John Calipari as well at Kentucky with those fantastic players. That's the best storyline. The best storyline is Duke versus Kentucky, and that's what I want to see. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What about you? What about you? Stay tuned to the show, man. I'm going to tell you about a boxer that just won't let it die, man. And it's really depressing. So stay tuned for that. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. Hey, make sure you go to Twitter and follow me on Twitter as well. My Twitter handle is at The Doug Stewart Show, or at Doug, the number 2 Live Stews, at Doug 2 Live Stews. I already put up your daily tweet, your lucky numbers, your lucky fortune, and all of that stuff. So go on Twitter and retweet today's lucky tweet and get you some stew magic. Yes, sir. Let me read more of this chat, man. And you can hit me up in the chat room on Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. Follow the show, The Doug Stewart Show, on Spreaker.com. And then jump in the chat room and be totally interactive. From JB Jennings. What up, JB? Hate to do it, but bust award to Mike Brave for not doubling Towns. That essentially cost him the game. From Gary Joyner, I fully expect that Kentucky will be in trouble with the NCAA after Coach Cal leaves the program. I do too. I mean, why wouldn't we? They've had to vacate everywhere that he's been as a coach, at UMass and at Memphis. From Max Jones III, Doug, Lakers are strongly considering Towns in the draft If he doesn't go number 1, Lakers are projected to get no lower than overall 4th pick, if not higher in the NBA draft. Here's the problem. I hate the freaking NBA draft, man. I do because of that whole lottery thing, man. We're not guaranteed. He's going to be 1 or 2, okay? If we don't get 1 or 2, and I'm saying we as a Laker fan, if we don't get the first or second pick in the draft, they're not going to get him. We're not going to have opportunity. Now, we can, and this is where the NBA should go in and fix the damn thing like they did for the Knicks and getting Patrick Ewing. The Lakers need to be relevant, so we need to get – yes. Shut up, studio audience. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. If the NBA wants to do itself a favor, they got to get the Lakers better fast, okay? And so they need to get the first or the second pick, man, and get their choice between Jahlil Okafor and Karl Anthony Towns. They just need to do – that's good business. Yeah, that's good business. The Lakers getting the first or the second pick in the draft from Fat Boy McCoon. Ball Award goes to WrestleMania. Great show. I didn't see WrestleMania, but I'll take your word for it. Buster Award goes to Iggy Azalea. That video of her trying to freestyle at a concert is horrible. Iggy Azalea was trying to freestyle? What? No, wait a minute. I got to see this video. I haven't seen this video. Iggy Azalea is trying to freestyle somewhere. Now, you know, a lot of times this freestyle ain't really freestyle. Freestyle means that you just start rhyming off the top of your dome, as they say in the rap game. Freestyle ain't something that you wrote a couple of days ago and memorize it, and then you just start reciting it. That's not freestyle. Freestyling is you start rhyming about what's in your surroundings, about the dude you're rapping against, or something on the wall in the room that you're in, or something in the area that you can look at, something tangible you can just plop in your rhymes. That's freestyling. I got to see this video. Not a fan of Iggy Azalea. Just not a fan. The Oklahoma Sigma. So, Doug, let me get this straight. I donate money to your show, then you give it away to folks for their fantasy sports gambling. Let's laugh out loud. Okay, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah. And shouts out to everybody that donated to the Doug Stewart Show this past Friday. You can do it too as well at thedougstewartshow.com. Thedougstewartshow.com. There's a little donate button on the right side. Hit the donate button, and 1 or 2 clicks on PayPal. Donate a couple of bucks to the show. I really would appreciate it. But yeah, you know what the deal is with me and DraftKings. I mean, we do it in conjunction. Really, it's their money. But hell, I'm doing it. I'm giving it to you. I'm giving you the opportunity. So use the promo code Stu in DraftKings. From Keen941, I'm going to donate a lifetime package of boiled peanuts. Oh, here you go. A lifetime package of boiled peanuts. And if you're new to the show, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, if you're new to the show, ask somebody in the chat room about boiled peanuts. It's a long story. From Gary Joyner, Ball Award goes to Florida Southern, the Division II NCAA Championship. Champions. Had no idea there was even a Florida Southern out there. So congratulations to them. JB Jennings, Doug, I thought Okafor was hands down the number 1 pick, but Towns has made his case considering how dominant he's been of late, and he's really been Kentucky's go-to player this season. Yeah, I think he's made a case for there to be a discussion about the number 1 guy, because once he has, what he has is natural, and it's God-given ability and skill that he's acquired over the year. I mean, I'll ask you right now, who's a better low-post player right now? Karl Anthony Towns or Dwight Howard? Right. You know what it is. Dwight Howard right now is not the player on the post, in the box, in the paint, like Karl Anthony Towns. Right now. Now, is he going to have to get used to the NBA game? And he'll probably start out slow and he's going to get better? Yeah. DeMarcus Cousins, the guy who I mentioned earlier as well in comparison to this Towns kid as well, he wasn't as great as he is right now when he first got into the league. But you saw the skill set. You saw the skill set. Right now, and I'm not a fan of Dwight if you're new to the show. Right now, Karl Anthony Towns' game in the post, and maybe his overall game as well, he might even be a better passer. is better than Dwight Howard's. It is. And I'm not a fan of Dwight Howard. So it really doesn't take a lot for me to take somebody over him. But yeah, that kid made some money this weekend, man. Ball award goes to him. All right, when we get back from the break, I'm going to talk a little bit about a guy who, once again, he just should let it go. He just should, but he won't. Keep it locked, the Doug Stewart Show. What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
The best of the Doug Stewart Show.
So, I'm probably 6. So, Jesse Bryant rolls by, and I remember it like it was yesterday. He rolls by in his truck, and for some reason, something in my mind says, pick up a rock and throw it at Jesse. And I hit his truck. And not only did I hit his truck, it was a damn good throw and aim because it hit his windshield and it cracked his windshield. So he stops and jumps out of the truck. I don't think anybody saw me, but he jumps out and Isaac, so your grandson hit my truck with a rock. They had a little conversation. I'm like, oh man, this is bad. And sure enough, my grandfather walks up and sees this nick on the windshield. And Jesse rolls away, and I know I'm in trouble. My daddy not around, my mother not around, and my grandfather reaches down, and this is God is my witness. Strike me down right here. My grandfather reaches down and pulls off a branch from a rose bush. Yes, just drags his arm and pulls off the leaves. Thorns are still applied to said switch. You get your ass whipped with a switch is bad enough, but a thorny switch? Oh my gosh. So he commences to busting my ass with a thorny switch. Yes. And you know I was marked up from head to toe. Now, that's probably child abuse. Not saying that what Adrian Peterson didn't do was child abuse either, but that was child abuse. That's a deadly weapon. And this is no lie. You're listening to The Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. Ain't nobody messing with my clique. This is the Doug Stewart Show. And Man Talk Monday, Ballas and Bustas, talking about everything that happened this past weekend in the world of sports and beyond. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can give me a call at 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Yes, sir. Let's go, baby. I absolutely love that track. I love that track. So, as I mentioned before we went to the break, and the number to the show is 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. Oh, also, make sure you join the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group. Okay, it's kind of like the after party. It's the party after the party. All right, so as soon as we're done today at 12 noon, you can continue the conversation, the debates, and what have you in the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group, all right, on Facebook. Also, I just got a Tree just let me know that a lot of people forgot that the show is actually starting today at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, not 11 a.m. So they're just joining in like they done missed the damn hour and 15 minutes of the show. I told y'all, man. I told y'all last week, starting Tuesday, that from now on the show is going to start off and go live at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. So don't forget, if you go into your Spreaker settings when you follow the show, and you can set your settings up so whenever the show starts live or goes live, you will get a email, a little alert on your phone. You know how the alerts work. That's a real cool thing about apps. So, yeah, Spreaker.com. Download the Spreaker app from your iTunes store. Follow the show. And then set your settings up to be alerted anytime I do a live show. Because a lot of times there may be a situation where I do a show, on the humbug. Just something might have happened big, or we may have a special event going on. Speaking of which, we're hosting the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight. More details on that to come. So, yeah, follow the show on Spreaker.com. And then set your settings up to get a live message, live alert anytime we do a live show. All right, longtime former pound-for-pound king and 4-division title holder, Roy Jones Jr., who just fought a couple of weeks ago, man, is going to fight again on Saturday night. Damn, Roy! Jones, who knocked out a club fighter, Willie Williams, in the second round on March 6th in Concord, North Carolina. It's come to this, Roy. You fighting club fighters in Concord, North Carolina? Is going to fight Paul Vasquez in a scheduled 10-round cruiserweight bout at the Pensacola Bay Center in Pensacola. That's where Roy Jones is from. The fight will be his first in his hometown since he stopped Omar Shaykler in the 5th round at the Pensacola Civic Center in March of 2009. Quote, Roy just fought 3 weeks ago in North Carolina, and we were ready or already planning for one of the Island Fights mixed cards for Saturday, said John Wirt, CEO of Jones Square Ring Promotions. Roy Jones is 46 years old, man. Oh, man, and Roy Jones is one of my favorite fighters of all time. Roy Jones, for probably 10 years, was my favorite fighter of all time. He was. Roy Jones was that dude, man, but the last 10 years, it hadn't been pretty, man. It just hadn't been pretty, and I hate to see this type of thing, and he's kind of intimating that he wants a shot at a title. What? And he wants a shot at a title, and he's just trying to work some things out in his fighting and his boxing. It's just I hate to read these type of stories, man, because what's the purpose? I don't think Roy Jones is broke. Even if he was broke, he's not going to make enough money from these fights right now, and his brand isn't big enough to garner a big payday or a big pay-per-view. So you're not going to get rich doing this at this point in your career, are you? I would think Roy Jones probably got, $100 million in the bank? Or maybe not. Huh? What? I'm getting thumbs down from Tree. What? Man, come on, man. Roy Jones. I just hate this type of stuff, man. Roy Jones has made so much money in his career, and I think we may, and Tree jumps on the mic here for a second. I think we may be able to research how much money he's made in his career.
Doesn't he fight chickens or roosters or cocks or something?
Yes, he fights cocks. He does. It's a country boy thing. I don't know. I don't get it. I've never been to a cockfight in my life. Literally or figuratively.
Oh, okay. I'm going to look that up.
Yeah. So, yeah, look up how much money Roy Jones Jr. has made in his career. I'm going to guess he's probably made over $100 million. So if you've made over $100 million and say you've blown a lot of it foolishly, you still got $30 million, right? You still got probably $30 million left over, right? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And Roy's a friend of the show. I think we can get Roy on the show. And matter of fact, I'm going to put in a call, man. I'm going to put in a call to Roy. I got his number right here on my phone. I'm going to put in a call to Roy and see if we can get him on the show. And I'm going to talk to him as a guy in the business, in the media business that cares about him. Okay? I used to live in Pensacola when I got out of college. My first job that I got out of college, I worked as a manager of Foot Action USA. And I actually had my own store in Pensacola, Florida. I did that for like 2 years as like a 22-year-old. I loved that job. It was a great job, fun. They just, retail, they try to kill you. But I had my own store in Pensacola, Florida. So I know how much Roy Jones is beloved in that city. Big fan of the guy, obviously, man. One of the best fighters I've ever seen when he was at the top of his game. And I just hate to see this type of thing, man. I just hate to see this type of thing. From William Wharton, Hammer stage show was crazy. I'm reading some chat now, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. From Keenan 941, once again, Hammer will kick your ass. What, Hammer can fight? Nine for life. I remember people wondering who was better dancer, Hammer or Mike. Yeah. Oh, Hammer was that dude now. I mean, you talk about could dance. MC Hammer could dance his ass off. Yes, sir. He could. From that ninja, KC, Hammer is not hurting. That ninja could dance his ass off. Right. He echoed what I just said. Kiss my go to hell. Dude had his own damn doll. Hammer time. Yeah. MC Hammer has his own doll. You're talking about phenomenons. MC Hammer was big. JJ from Good Times was huge. Mr. T was big. Fernando Valenzuela. You're talking about like guys that just were so big at the top when they were at the top of their game. They were phenomenons. And MC Hammer fell into that category, man. He was just big. And this is during the time, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You got to remember, when MC Hammer first hit in 88, 89, this was still where hip-hop just started to become, I would call it commercial, where it started to cross over. You know, that's right during my wheelhouse, my senior year of high school. So that's when hip-hop became more mainstream. That's the proper term I guess I need to use. And during that time, it started to become mainstream, but and I do mean all the big names were from New York City. And anything that didn't come from New York or didn't sound New York-ish was kind of frowned upon. And that was whack. You know, looking back at it, that was really whack. So it's not like it is now. It's not like it is now if you got skills, if you got rhyme ability. No, in effect, you had to be from New York to get love in the streets as far as hip-hop. Okay? That's the way it was. And it's hard to explain to people that didn't grow up during that era. But yes, trust me. So anybody from anywhere else really didn't get any love. So they used to clown Hammer. You know, they used to clown him because his skills were whack. But they really used to clown him, and I'm saying they, talking about New York people, the people that were in charge, that were over the hip-hop industry in effect at that time. You know, your Russell Simmons and your Def Jams and all of those guys in New York, they ran the industry. And so it was kind of like this era of if you weren't from New York, they ished on you. And so they used to kill MC Hammer, man. Oh, Hammer, they used to clown Hammer. Hammer's whack, Hammer this, Hammer's that. But Hammer made that money. Being from the West Coast, not even from LA, from Oakland, dancing, rap skills, very questionable. MC Hammer made that money. He made his mark. So I ain't got nothing but respect for Hammer. It ain't like now, where you could be from Miami, Atlanta, Memphis, you know, Houston, Chicago. You could be from anywhere and blow up. Not in 1988, not in 1989. You had to be from the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, Staten Island to get any love. Am I not lying, though, Tree?
You're right. You definitely couldn't be from Australia with some fake boobs.
Exactly. You damn sure couldn't be from Australia with some fake tiggle bitties and make it in hip-hop back in 88, 89. It just didn't work like that. Very good point. Very good point. All right, when we get back from the break, man, I'm going to read a lot of your chat. We're going to read a lot of your chat, as well as we're going to talk about beggars, squeaky wheel getting the oil. You'll understand when we get back, all right? Don't go away. This is the Doug Stewart Show. You've been thinking about starting that online store, right? And you do know e-commerce makes billions a year. That's right. I said billions with a B, okay? A B. Well, just do it, and do it right with my friends at AmeriCommerce. AmeriCommerce is an easy-to-use tool to sell anything online, on Facebook, and through mobile phones. Over 100,000 merchants and website owners have chosen AmeriCommerce to handle their stores and customers. They have the most in-depth features in the industry, which include multiple storefronts, website management from one console, a Facebook shopping application, a mobilized, optimized website, and much more. Don't let eBay, Amazon, and Zappos get all the money. Get your piece of the pie, too. Click on their banner link on the DougStewartShow.com or the app link for more details. First of all, thank you for listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you know that we've grown exponentially over the first couple of months. Whether that's listens, whether that's followers, we're blowing up, and you can be a part of it. If you have a company out there and you like to promote on the Doug Stewart Show, we'd love to partner with you. Here's what you do. Email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Once again, that's Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Whether that's locally, regionally, or nationally, we can get the word out. What you're talking about is middle-aged dudes that love sports and love exciting sports talk. Once again, email me at Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. That's Doug@theDougStewartShow.com, and we will put you out there. All right? That's Doug@theDougStewartShow.com. Let's do some business. Yes! Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play, so you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. If you're not stewing, what the hell are you doing? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Man Talk Monday. Ballas and Bustas. I'm going to read chat this entire segment, man. Thank you to everybody that has made the Doug Stewart Show the #1 talk show in America. And online, definitely. I mean, it's guy talk, it's fun talk, it's real, trio. You're going to hear some of the most passionate opinions in sports on this show as well, some of the realest, definitely. I mean, this isn't a puppet factory, okay? Nobody doesn't have their hand and their arm stuck up my ass making me talk. Not on this show, not on the Doug Stewart Show. This is a puppet-free zone. Yes, sir! So thank you so much for being interactive in the chat room. I'm going to read a lot of your chat. I really do appreciate that because, I mean, y'all kind of like my wingmen. Y'all kind of like my co-host and Spurns conversation. I really, really do appreciate it. From Keen 941, Hammer Pants are back in, y'all. What? Hammer Pants would never end. I'm from the country, and we did a lot of country things. You can look back at it now. I don't remember, like, it being in style to wear the Hammer Pants when I was in high school. And now it did kind of fall in right after I left high school, but even in college, I don't remember people wearing big-ass, what do they call it, parachute pants? We never wore that crap. We wore the hell out of some biker pants, but we never wore no damn parachute pants. KC, everyone sent Hammer $53 to get him back on his feet. Eugene Jackson, wow, bank robbers used stolen money to buy a suite at Atlanta Hawks game from 2009 through 2013. Story on the Score website. Now that's gangster. That's gangster. And it's dumb. And it's stupid. Keen 941, Hammer will whoop your ass too. What? Hammer can fight? I've seen that a couple of times. That ninja, Hammer time. Max Jones III, yes, we do, Nine. I hope the Lakers consider Cauley Stein as well. He has all the potential and really athletic. Towns is more NBA ready, but Cauley Stein with some work could be a beast in the NBA. I made this comparison last week and it kind of hit me. And I'm really good, I think. I really think I'm good at making these comparisons and who they kind of translate to in the NBA. Cauley Stein is, to me, a reincarnated Kenyon Martin. He's the exact frame, exact height, that type of game, just athletic as hell. I love his game. I think he's going to be a great NBA player, but he's not like Okafor and Towns, where he's like a big body and can play center. I think he can play center. Obviously, he's 7 foot tall, so he could definitely do it. You've seen that. Nerlens Noel is doing fantastic, especially over the last couple of years, the last couple of weeks for Philadelphia, as they've been starting to come out a little bit. So I think he could play center, but obviously his position he's probably going to play in the NBA is going to be power forward. Fantastic player. But if you need a center, an old school back to this basket center with great low post moves, I mean, it's hard to beat Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, it's hard. And once again, Okafor probably has more upside than Towns, but it's going to be a tough choice between 1 and 2. If you got that first pick, man, this is going to be a tough choice on who you're going to take at number 1. From Niner for Life, Tree, I heard on TJMS about Tasha Smith paying her husband $7,000 a month. Am I late? And what do you think of a man getting paid? That's right, Tree. Jump on the microphone, Tree.
Yes.
Okay, so everybody knows who Tasha Smith is. Tasha Smith, it seems like to me, they always typecast her as a nasty girlfriend or wife. Like, she's always mean in her damn movies. But I like her. I actually like her. I actually think she's pretty to me in my mind too, until she opens her mouth sometimes. But I like her, and so
it's those ghetto roles.
Yeah. But I mean, I like her. She's also Cookie's sister in Empire, right? Yeah.
She is.
So what do you think about this, Tree? She's got to pay her ex-husband $7,000 a month for child support. What do you think about that, Tree?
I think you should get me some music when I have to explain the price of riding raw.
Of riding raw, huh?
Yes. So in this situation, and it is alleged that this man that she married, who was formerly the help, he was her assistant first.
Okay.
You shouldn't be messing with the help. That's number 1. Number 2, why do these people continue to marry in states where you would have to pay spousal support? They have no connection other than the fact
because they're in love, Tree. They don't take that stuff in consideration when they're in love. Isn't that what you said last time?
Well, and so.
But Tree, this guy has a certain lifestyle that she placed upon him, and he just expects to keep the same lifestyle. Tree, what do you think about this?
Are you trying to do my voice? You can't.
Huh?
No, I'm not too proud to say that she got what she signed up for.
Oh,
and
so you're okay.
While it is sad, sorry, Tasha, but that's what happens when you ride raw.
Okay. All right. Okay. And you're very smart in your assessment, because you would just be a total hypocrite if you said that she shouldn't pay it. You understand that, right?
And please know, riding raw is even deeper than what on the
Right,
surface.
raw deeper.
It's deeper than the surface that we're speaking of. You've got to start investigating these women and these men. So, Tasha, sorry. Make sure that check's in the mail.
Okay, well, that's the smart thing to say, Tree. Thank you. And for new listeners, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, we had a huge debate / argument about paying child support and alimony and all of that stuff. And Tree was saying how, these women expect a certain lifestyle, so they should continue to get it. Now, I'm totally against that whole concept. She got paid that money, $7,000 a month, and this dude just gonna sit on his ass. I mean, $7,000 a month as a dude? If you're a dude, are you okay with getting child support, alimony from your ex-wife? I mean, to me, that's not too manly. I mean, that's got to be breaking a man law. That's got to be breaking a man law. In theory, I understand him getting it because that's what they do right now with the court systems. But would you even want to accept that? I can hear it right now. You go out to hey, man, shut up. Your wife taking care of you. I can hear it right now. Dudes clowning on you left and right. And you a kept man. You a kept dude. I mean, your wife keeps you. You know?
Think guys don't want to be kept?
I don't know, man. You know what? I guess I wouldn't have a problem with it.
You're old school.
Hold on, listen. I wouldn't have a problem with it if nobody knew. But because this is in the news, like, how that dude gonna go around his boys? You know what I'm saying?
He was her secretary. Come on.
Oh, so you're saying he's already feminine like in ways already, huh? We're stereotyping. All secretaries don't have to be women, Tree. But it's a bad look. But $7,000 is $7,000. I'll get over it for $7,000.
That's some good money right there.
All right, more chat here. And the number is 404-382-0338, 90 for life. Why is the justice system so swift and harsh against other NFL teams and not the Patriots? Yeah, this whole, Deflategate thing is taking forever. Slide the sports guy. Buster Ward, Doug Stewart, 12 a.m. to 2:30. Come on, son. You're talking about my daughter and coming home from 2:30. Vince Wright, Ball Award to Coach Izzo, true player. Back to the my daughter coming home at 2:30. I don't know. Maybe I told Tree this and I didn't say it over the air. So what I did was I allowed my wife and my mother to make the decision on what time she should come home from the prom this weekend. Because I didn't want anything to do with it. Because if it was up to me, I would have been like, be home at 12:45. And the damn prom ended at 12. So if it was me, me being a dad, a worried dad, being there, done that, little, nasty little boy, whatnot, I would have had her come home at 12:45, just enough time to get in the car and get her ass home. So I told my wife. My wife's like, all right, what time? What time should she be home? I was like, y'all decide. I'm just going to take myself out of the equation because I'm too emotionally attached to this situation. So y'all decide. And once again, so my wife and my mother talked about it, and they said, you can be home by 2:30. And she was ahead of time, as a matter of fact. And evidently afterwards, after the prom, they went out to a little Waffle House or something like that. And so they were home. So yeah, I didn't like it, but. And another thing about my daughter, and I know it sounds like I'm trying to make excuses and validate her coming home that late, but a lot of her friends, two things, a lot of her friends were allowed to stay out all night. And she hit me with that. But so-and-so can stay out all night. I don't give a damn about so-and-so. They ain't my child.
What?
Yes.
Wait a minute.
One of her friends' parents, and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. One of her friends' parents bought her a hotel room and let them stay out all night. Now, they kind of sold it like the girls were going to do kind of like this quasi-slumber party type thing. And so they had this hotel downtown. They didn't have to drive or nothing like that. And they were going to go straight from the prom to this hotel room and just like, get in their pajamas and do slumber party thing. And I was like, I don't care what nobody else parents do. My child is going to bring her ass home.
That's right.
Okay.
Now, that's taking it to I'm okay.
Yeah. Oh, Tree, get used to it. Get used to it. Your daughter's about to be a senior, right?
No, and I'm not getting used to anything. I'm not in the business of being friends with my children.
Right. I'm not your damn friend. That's another thing, too. I'm not your friend. I'm not your damn friend. So you think we're going to buddy and I'm going to allow you just to stay out all night? It's not going to happen. And she's also 18 as well. You know, her birthday came late, the whole thing when you're born. At a certain point in the year, you actually, you're a senior at 18. So her and my wife trying to make the argument that she's an adult already. No, you're not no damn adult. You're not. Adult means 21, and adult also means you ain't living under my damn roof. That's adult. Yeah, you just an old-ass senior. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not your friend. You're not an adult. You're not staying out all night. No. I actually bend. I've been. And letting her come home at 2:30. Thought about posting up outside the damn prom and just taking her home myself. Don't worry, play. I got it. You can go ahead home now.
Stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. To her little date. To her little date.
Move on.
All right, don't go anywhere. Keep it locked. This is the Doug Stewart Show. Fantasy sports fans are winning huge cash prizes every day at DraftKings.com. America's favorite place to play daily fantasy sports. Daily fantasy means no season-long commitments. Play whenever you want. Just pick your sport and draft your team. It's like a new season every time you play. So, you're never stuck with the same players. Last year, $300 million were won at DraftKings.com, and you could be next to win big. Go to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code STU to play for free. That's STU for free entry now at DraftKings.com. Also, if you use promo code STU, DraftKings will match your initial deposit up to $600. Deposit $600, play with $1,200. DraftKings.com, promo code STU. The Doug Stewart Show. The place where the real players play.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service.
The Doug Stewart Show.
That's a brand name. Like Pepsi, that's a brand name. I stand behind it. I guarantee it.
The Doug Stewart Show. If you ain't stewing, what the hell are you doing? Yeah! What is 911 Tax Relief? It's a tax relief company that can help you reduce or remove your IRS or state tax debt. They'll help stop bank levies and wage garnishments by implementing offers and compromise or penalty abatements. 911 Tax Relief is a tax relief company, but they're different from the others. Their experts are licensed, enrolled tax agents, and they also have more than 12 years' experience helping people solve their tax problems. They're a tax relief company that understands how the IRS works, and they'll also put that knowledge to work for you, so they can get you the best possible settlement or solution to your tax problems. Highly rated by the Better Business Bureau, and they've helped thousands of people solve their tax problems. So, don't play around. Click on their link on my website and let 911 Tax Relief help you in your situation with Uncle Sam.
Yeah, this album is dedicated to all the teachers that
welcome back to the Doug Stewart Show.
To all the people that live above the buildings that I was hustling from that called the police.
Man Talk Monday.
Trying to make some money to feed my daughter.
Talking about proms.
Struggle, you know what I'm saying?
We're also talking about your Ballas and your Bustas from this past weekend. Thank you so much for joining your boy. I really do appreciate it. Yeah. Who's going to be the number one pick in the NBA draft this year? Somehow we started talking about that a little bit. Karl Anthony Towns, Jahlil Okafor, or Cauley Stein as well. Just a lot of chat. I've been reading a lot of chat, man. I really do appreciate the chat. Roy Jones Jr., we talked about a little bit earlier. I like this new time, man. So we're done at noon today on the Doug Stewart Show. Don't forget, man. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. 10 a.m. All right, 10 a.m. That's the new show time. The show starts at 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Right now, still going to stick with 2 hours, but we are really, really trying to make the move to at least 3 hours. So stay tuned for that and keep supporting the show and telling people and making it bigger. This is real sports talk, man. I mean, the sports talk that you hear on this show, we really started this. I mean, let's just be honest with this. The Two Live Stews started sports talk like this. A lot of people have come in and tried to imitate and duplicate, but it's not the same, all right? This is the Doug Stewart Show. Real, trill, unfiltered sports talk, guy talk is going down here every Monday through Friday, every day Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Time. From Vince Wright, Ball Award to Coach Izzo, true player. Gary Jordan, I know Cal is cheating, but Coach Boeheim is catching hell from the puppet factory. Yeah. Jarvis J, NBA lottery is fixed. I tell you what, it's very strange. It's very strange they don't let you see the ping pong balls. From Fred Mack, I wish Andrew Bynum's knees would have held up. He would have been way better than Dwight Howard. Oh, yeah, at the time when Andrew Bynum was healthy, I had said he was better than Dwight Howard. He is. Andrew Bynum had a great offensive game, great low-post game. Dwight Howard does it. Jarvis J. Towns made some money this weekend. He's the ball of the week. Ms. Mocha Bella. Bust Award to Roger Moore, 007, saying Idris Elba is not ready to play Bond 07 in the next movie. I think he's trying to say he can't see a black man playing 007. I hope that Roger Moore isn't saying that, because really, to be honest with you, every time they come out with a new Bond, it's somebody that you've never really heard of. They've really never come out with a guy that was like a huge name in Hollywood. From what I can remember, and I don't know the names of the guys, in particular the last guy that came out with that played James Bond, I didn't know who the hell that was. Where'd he come from? I think Idris Elba's brand is probably bigger than that guy's was right now. So, yeah, I don't have a problem. I think that'd be a real cool little twist to the Bond series to have a black actor play James Bond. I think that'd be real cool. From Thorny Switch, Roy Jones still boxing? King Kane, Roy isn't broke. He just loves the sport or has concussions. One of the two. Yeah, Roy Jones might love the sport, but the sport is violent. You get hit in the head in the sport. You know, why would you continue to do it if you have the money that you would think Roy Jones has? And I asked Tree to look up and see how much money he's made throughout his entire career. I'm going to guess well over $100 million. Okay? Mayweather's going to make that in one fight. So, you know, economy, inflation, you're talking 15 years ago. I'm going to guess, you know, Roy Jones Jr. probably made $20 to $30 million on each of his fights, the latter fights when he was a champion. So, I mean, it's well over $100 million. I'm saying that to be the minimum. He's probably made over $200 million in his career. Even if he blew a lot of it, he still got $30, $40 million in his bank account, right?
That information seems to not be anywhere. There's information that says what his worth is currently, but
what's it say his worth is currently?
One site is saying 45 mil.
Okay, yeah, there we go. I mean, the man made a lot of money. He could have been cheated for a lot of his money and blown a lot of his money fighting cocks. You know, casino or whatever. He's always around the casino in Vegas. So he might have even blown a lot of money, but he didn't blow down all of it. Why do you have to do this, Roy? Why do you have to do this? From Togo, Uganda Coles, $20 million. I guess he's talking about Roy Jones. Mac Jones III, he has to be broke. The thirst is real. Come on, Roy. Hang it up, bro. Stick to announcing. And he's not even that bad in announcing. I mean, he's not the greatest, but he's not bad. I mean, just do that. J.B. Jennings, damn, Roy has always been my favorite boxer. Now he's just embarrassing himself. Ronald Cameron Jones fought last Saturday versus Vasquez, and he has stopped him in the first round, but I agree he needs to retire. Fred Mack, Roy better go play with them chickens he got. Leave this to the hungry cats, to the hungry young cats. Leave it alone. Jarvis J. Roy needs to sit down, bruh. For real, Roy is washed, y'all. RJC, Roy Jones Jr. is that uncle who still thinks he got it. Vince Wright, stop it, Roy. And we all seem to agree, man, that Roy should just let it go, man. I mean, just let it go. You were too great of a champion, man. Too great of a champion. Miss Mocha Bella, Tree. You know these men want to be kept. William Wharton. I have a homeboy I haven't worked in 2 years. I guess going back to the whole child support thing with Tasha Smith. William Mack, from what I understand, Tasha Smith physically abused her husband, so maybe she plays those roles so well because that's actually who she is. Wow.
You can see that, Doug.
She plays the hell out of them roles like she's really got, and I don't know her personally, so I don't want this to come across the wrong way. This may totally not be her, but her spirit comes across as nasty.
It's a special man that can get with her. And a secretary, probably not going to
And
work
every role, once again, I think maybe she's typecast herself because every role I've seen her in, even on that weekly show, is it The Haves or Have-Nots? Or one of those Tyler Perry weekly things where she plays the husband of Michael Jai White.
She plays the wife, Doug. The wife. See, you're typecasting her now.
Right, the wife. Just nasty. Just nasty. And when I used to go in the movie theaters to see Tyler Perry movies, she did the same thing then too as well. So it's not a good look. Vince Wright, forget man law. Get that money. Miss Mocha Bella, Sherry Shepard, and Tasha Smith have to pay their ex-husband's spousal support. Fat Boy McCoon, I'll take Tasha Smith. Just saying. Oh yeah. She tough now. Chocolatey as hell. You know what? I think she would look a whole lot better to me if she wasn't so nasty and so mean and ornery. And I know these are roles that she plays, but she does them so well, I really think that's her personality. Yeah. And you know she's a twin, right? And her twin, I mean, they're identical twins. They look the exact same. Tall, sexy, chocolate. And I like them like that. But her attitude is just so nasty. I can't get past that. I just cannot get past that, man. Yeah, 2 hours just like that. Yes, sir. 2 hours just like that, man. Yeah, this is the Doug Stewart Show. Thank you so much for joining me today. We'll do it again tomorrow. All right, if you're new to the show, follow the show on Spreaker.com. All right, follow the show on Spreaker.com. Make sure your settings are set to send you an alert whenever the show goes live. All right, just do that. All right, so Spreaker.com, as well as download my app from the App Store, the Doug Stewart Show app. You need to have both of them. And pass the word. Tell people. Yes, sir. Shouts out to my producer, Tree, the Tree of Life. Thank you, Tree, for all that you did. You get a thumbs up. Waterhead Walter, Dwayne Vasson, Gerald Oliveri, thank you guys for making this thing happen. And to all of the Stewies out there, thank you. We'll do it again tomorrow. Same Doug Stewart time, same Doug Stewart channel. Peace.